Hey everyone, this is the video for the 1.10 update. Gonna be really quick. The new features are the icons. It's a dynamic system, unlike most games. And what happens is, and I will show this twice to make sure you can see it, is when you zoom out, the icons shrink in size. And I'll explain it a little bit because a lot of people don't see it. The reason I do this is because on a tablet the screen is really small, and if you zoom out, if they stay the same size, it will really clutter up the whole screen. So this definitely helps. So I'll do it again because I showed it in person to some people, and most people don't really notice it happens. So the way I explain it is, put your thumb next to the icon, like right now, when it's zoomed in, see, and compare the size. And what I'm going to do is zoom out, and now just put your thumb next to an icon again, and you'll see it's half the size. So yeah, that's a bit useful. And the way that it's done is you can't do it with a picture because even with mapping it would just look really jaggy, and I tried it, it looks horrible. And what I do is the border and this transparent arrow over here, they're done with vector style graphics, basically the same thing I used to make the hex grid and the civilization border work. So I use the exact same touch, and what's inside the icon, what's painted like a diamond or bananas or whatever, gold bar, that's just a normal texture that's mapped. So that's it, that's how it works. I know it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since last update, but it was really only about like 10-15 hours of work here. There's also a command here, it's called icon snap, I think, yep. And what it does is, these things are not aligned by pixel boundaries, so they can be a bit blurry a little bit. If you use this command, what happens is it will stay smooth movement, but once the camera stops moving, it will snap the icon to be a perfect multiple of a pixel size and also aligned by pixel boundaries. So it does this. Can you notice? It does this little snapping thing when the camera stops, but it is much more clear. So I guess it's down to preference. I don't know. I don't know how much I mind it. It's less visible on a small. It's less noticeable on a small screen. So whatever people prefer. It's a bit more clear though. It's definitely you can notice it gets more clear. So that's about it for today. What I've been working for the last week or so is the new terrain system, and I said I'm going to do a simplified version. I'm going to go back on that and actually not do a very much simplified version, because I figured out the math on how to have the technique to have performance on these limited devices, but also have sort of like a general purpose height map kind of terrain that would still work on these devices with limited power and limited bandwidth. So that's what I'm working on. The math is not very complicated, but I don't have an ETA for the next patch, which is what 1.20 was going to be about, the new terrain system. So it's going to have basically preformed terrain, mountains and hills and all that, and of course more than one type of terrain hex. So it's all sand now. Yeah, I think like one of the limitations of it is that just for quality purposes, like the shore, see how it like slopes down? The shore is probably going to be completely flat, but it will have like a texture transition, like let's say grass to sand to ocean, but it's going to be flat, otherwise it will look too chunky. So that's about it. One last thing. Sorry about that, my phone rang. So the last thing I was going to say is there's going to be a small patch, 1.1.1, that will let you scale the icon size according to whatever you want. It's going to be probably something like icon scale like 2 or 0.5 to make it double or have the size, and you can just pick whatever, because there's just so much variation between these devices. I'm not quite sure I can make a magic perfect size that will fit everyone, so I'll just make it scalable. It doesn't really, it's like probably like an hour's worth of work, because the system is already, you know, capable of scaling, so it's pretty easy. Alright, that's about it. I'll make video updates on the progress of patch 1 to you as it goes by, because it's probably going to take a long time to do. And we'll see in the new video. Bye.